Right now, how artificial intelligence is being tested to keep you and your family safe while attending large sporting events. Plus, a reward of up to $50,000 is being offered for information that can help police solve the murder of a Milwaukee man. And splashdown for NASA's Orion capsule making a fast return from the moon today, landing in the Pacific Ocean to conclude a test flight, which should clear the way for astronauts on the next lunar mission. That's all coming up right now at 10. The future of technology could soon reach big event centers, even familiar ones like the home of the Badgers. Good evening, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm McKenna Alexander. Today at the UW Fieldhouse, campus police teamed up with the company Liberty Defense to test new security screening technology. Our Catherine Merck shows us what makes this technology different and how it could impact you.
Before you get inside big event centers like the UW Madison Fieldhouse, you got to get through security first. It's the way to make you and your loved ones feel safe. One company is using this space to take security to new levels.
It definitely will ease people's tensions. Obviously, big crowds are big, and venues are places where people worry about. So hopefully this is a way to eliminate that.
The University of Wisconsin-Madison Police Department is kicking off on-campus testing of HexWave. It's using AI to security screen people coming into Sunday's wrestling event on campus.
What we do is we scan for not only metallic threats like guns and knives, but we also detect on non-metallic threats like 3D printed guns, plastic pipe bombs, liquids, and powders.
Both the company behind the screenings and UW Police share a similar goal: keeping your focus on sitting in the stands and less worried about your safety.
It ensures that we're providing a safe environment at all of our sporting events. It's a quick screen. You don't have to slow down to get through it. So hopefully it just enhances and ensures everybody is feeling more safe as they move through the day.
Today was just a test, so you're not going to see this type of AI technology in the Fieldhouse or other places on UW-Madison's campus yet. However, Liberty Defense is working to get a final version of their product out within the first half of 2023. Reporting in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
Let's take a look now. Your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Julian Seawright. Julian, 'tis the season of being very, very, very cold outside.
That's right, but at least it's tolerable, McKenna. That's the best part about this. However, as we get into the rest of tonight, it's still going to be rather cloudy, and we're not going to be seeing much in terms of any snow or rain like we have for this weekend. But the cloud cover is going to be stubborn as we continue into our work week. So just expect no sunshine to start off our Monday. Now, looking ahead overnight, temperatures will fall into the lower 30s and be eclipsing into the upper 20s by the time we are heading out the door for our Monday. But for tonight, we're looking at low temperatures around 32 for Janesville, 28 in Platteville. So many of us are going to be seeing those upper 20s and just below or at the freezing point for us for tonight. Now, heading into tomorrow, we are going to see the upper 30s once again. We could see some fog developing later overnight as well, though, folks. So as you're heading out the door tomorrow, be on the lookout for some lowered visibility for your area, as we are looking for areas of patchy fog that will be persistent throughout much of our morning hours, but start to clear up by the time we get into the lunchtime hour. Now, we are entering an unsettled weather pattern, which is going to be bringing a whole mixed bag of precipitation for us. We're going to dive into how you may be impacted in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. And just a reminder, you can stay up to date on the weather with our First Warn Forecast weather app. It is hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. The United States Postal Service is offering a reward of up to $50,000 to help solve the murder of a man in Milwaukee. USPS says a 44-year-old mail carrier was shot and killed on the city's north side Friday. Police believe a Cylinder Audi Q5 SUV is suspected to have been involved in the shooting. Anyone with information is asked to call United States Postal Inspection Service at the number on your screen. That's 877-876-2455. And a firefighter was hurt last night while battling a house fire in Holman. 7 fire departments responded to the home to find heavy smoke and flames coming out the back of the house. That home is located in an area of town without fire hydrants, something that presented a challenge for first responders.
So we have to shuttle water into the location, and you see a constant flow of fire engines and trucks that are coming into the scene to dump water into portable tanks and then go back for more water.
There were people inside the home at the time of the fire, but all were able to get out safely. That family that was living there is now displaced as the cause of the fire remains under investigation. More than $10,000 has been raised on GoFundMe for a Watertown family after a house fire left 3 people dead. The house caught on fire shortly after midnight Friday, and fire crews found the house engulfed in flames when they arrived. Smoke and intense heat prevented any of them from being able to rescue the people trapped inside. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. If you'd like to donate, we have added a link to the web story online. Just visit channel3000.com. Today, a successful splashdown for NASA's Artemis 1 moon mission ship. The uncrewed Orion capsule was guided into the Pacific Ocean about 350 miles south of San Diego. The 25-day test flight cost billions, but the payoff was worth it because, as Mark Strassman explains, astronauts could be next.
Splashdown. A homecoming splashdown, the first of many that NASA imagines in its lunar dreams. Orion is in great shape. Recovery teams pull the Orion capsule from the Pacific.
I don't think any one of us could have imagined the mission this successful.
And liftoff of Artemis 1. 25 days ago, NASA launched the Artemis 1 test flight. In all, a 1.4 million mile lunar round trip. From deep space, Orion beamed back spectacular imagery of the moon and Earth. Twice the capsule flew within 80 miles of the moon's surface. But the mission's biggest test came during Sunday's return. Orion slammed into the Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour. The heat shield had to hold up against temperatures of 5,000 degrees, half as hot as the surface of the sun.
We're going to look at the data very carefully, but I would say very happy with what we've seen so far on the heat shield.
Sunday's splashdown, 50 years to the day after another landing.
10 feet. Contact.
Apollo 17 touching down on the lunar surface.
Okay, Houston, the Challenger has landed.
The last time humans moonwalked. NASA wants to return with the Artemis program. A crewed test flight around the moon in 2024, a moon landing later this decade.
It is the beginning of the new beginning, and that is to explore the heavens.
A new era in moon voyaging just moved one test flight closer. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
Brand new tonight, a 90-year-old Illinois woman finally received her diploma, 71 years after she first enrolled in college. Joyce DeFoe started as a freshman at Northern Illinois in 1951, but dropped out to get married. Later, one of her 17 grandchildren, who's also a student at Northern Illinois, convinced her grandma to go back to school. It took 3 years for DeFoe to finish her education, which she did online, partly in response to the pandemic, that was also the first time she'd ever used a computer. Today, Joyce was finally able to put on the cap and gown and cross the stage to pick up her bachelor degree. She's a true example of lifelong learning, a special inspiration to others, her family, and her 24 great-grandchildren. Also new tonight, a Chicago pastor has been reinstated after he faced an accusation of sexual abuse. An independent review board found no reason to keep Father Michael Flager away. Flager, the senior pastor of the St. Sabina Parish, posting on Facebook with the caption, "Like MJ said, I'm back." His latest accuser is a man in his late 40s. Flager was previously suspended by the diocese in 2021 after 3 men alleged they were sexually abused in the 1970s. He was reinstated in June after the board said there were insufficient reasons to suspect he would be guilty. The man has denied all accusations.
Resign, Kevin!
Resign, Kevin! Hey!
More trouble for Los Angeles Councilman Kevin De Leon. A video posted online shows him getting into a scuffle with an activist at a holiday event. The incident happened after the crowd surrounded him, following him to an exit. The crowd was calling for his resignation because of leaked audio earlier this year that he and another council member had made racist comments about a fellow council member's black child. That audio prompted the resignation of the LA City Council President Nuri Martinez. De Leon said in a statement that he was acting in self-defense after being headbutted by one of the people. History was made in Los Angeles tonight as Karen Bass was sworn in as the city's first female mayor. Vice President Kamala Harris, the first woman to be VP, as well as the first woman of color, administered the oath of office at LA's City Hall. With Bass sworn in, the 4 largest cities in the U.S. have black mayors: Eric Adams in New York, Lori Lightfoot in Chicago, and Sylvester Turner in Houston. Mayor Bass is pledging to make solving the homeless crisis in Los Angeles a top priority of her new administration. Dramatic video out of Southern California shows Orange County firefighters getting quick into action to save a man who was trapped in the swollen Santa Ana River. That man was clinging to a cement wall underneath a bridge. Rescuers were able to toss him a life jacket with a tether. There, they waited, holding onto the tether until a rescue helicopter could lift him safely onto the overpass. That man was taken to a hospital, but there's no word on his condition at this time. Rescuers aren't sure how he got trapped in the river. Still ahead tonight at 10, grab your skates and lace up. The ice rink is back open at the Edgewater Hotel, making for another fun holiday outing. We'll be right back on News 3 Now.
Try getting deals this big down the chimney during the holiday sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, purchase any Tempur-Pedic and get a free $300 gift. Or check out the Summit Firm, easy on the wallet, for only $279.99. Shop our Doctor's Choice original lineup starting at only $664.99. And score 2 Doctor's Choice pillows for just $69.99. Plus 4 years no interest with no down payment and free shipping. 'Tis the season to settle in for silent nights. Happy holidays from Denver Mattress.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
You experience so many moments in your home, and Kidde helps you protect every moment. Materials in today's homes cause fires to burn faster, leaving you as little as 2 minutes to get to safety. So check your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms and replace them if necessary. Ensure that you have the right equipment for all areas of your home. Right now, save big on Kidde home safety products at Menards.
Hey, thanks for working through the holidays.
Clara, Dad says you're working over Christmas.
Here you go, Mrs. Person.
Let me pay you.
No, you're not going to pay me.
We are the helping hand.
Holly, happy holidays, Clara.
Thanks for everything you do, Clara.
We couldn't let you be alone for Christmas.
Oh, we brought you a streak.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Dude, you coming? Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop Plop is Fizz with Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and flu relief. Also try for Fizzy Fast cough relief.
Please welcome my friend Blake Shelton.
We wanted you to come back to The Voice, not start your own freaking talk show.
Plus, please welcome James Corden.
And what do I consider myself? Lucky.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Time to get your skates laced up and ready to go because the ice rink at the Edgewater is now open for the season. The rink on the Grand Plaza is open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Sunday. And if you don't have your own skates, no worries. The Edgewater has pairs available to rent for $3. Madison's outdoor rinks haven't opened yet, so this is your only outdoor skating option at this time. And if you have a little one at home who wants to get on the ice, Tot Time is reserved for kids 5 and under only every Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. So here's a look at the times the rink is open. It's located just outside the Edgewater Hotel on its Grand Plaza. It's recommended you book your tickets online in advance, but that's not necessary. Walk-up tickets are available. Those start at $7 for adults and $4 for children at 12 and under. Searching for solutions after headlines this week that brought sobering news for students across Wisconsin. Nearly 1 in 5 have seriously considered suicide, a number that jumps to almost 1 of every 2 lesbian, gay, or bisexual youth. On For the Record this morning, our Naomi Coles brought together a panel of experts to figure out how to move forward.
This data is stark, and it is sad, and it is scary, and it's been happening for far too long.
If you can think of 4 LGBTQ students, imagine that 2 of them, so if you've got those 4 students in your mind or 4 young people in your life, that 2 of them have considered suicide and at least 1 of them has attempted.
This is how experts at the state's Department of Public Instruction describe the data we saw released this week. The Youth Risk Behavioral Survey, conducted every 2 years, finding more students than ever since 2003 seriously considering suicide.
And it's been trending in the wrong direction since 2011.
Dr. Dahl, what are you hearing? Your expertise here is talking to these children. What are you hearing from them?
They're as distressed and struggling, especially in this identified groups. Anyone that's disenfranchised has a heavier burden, and to not feel supported by those around you or in the community in struggles with mental health, but even just the day-to-day.
Answers won't come overnight, but they start with us, the adults in the room.
I really see a lot of the reflection of the adults in the world not behaving well.
It's girls and it's LGBTQ plus students most affected by heightened suicidal risk, depression, and anxiety. But just one person can turn that around.
And I also think about how that one supportive adult can make such a difference. Imagine if the whole community was that supportive adult.
It also starts with learning how to talk about it.
We have friends, we have relatives, we have people that are touched by mental illness, suicide, anxiety, and sometimes we don't know even how to ask.
These are hard to ignore. We cannot ignore them any longer.
For News 3 Now, I'm Naomi Coles.
If you're struggling with depression or thoughts of suicide, please know that you can get help. Just start with the 988 hotline if you're in a crisis. Or if you're a parent struggling to help your child, Dr. Dahl recommends finding a training for QPR. That's a Question, Persuade, Refer. For the full panel, head online to channel3000.com. Let's get a look now at your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Julian Seawright.
Well, things are going to stay rather quiet for us, but they're also going to be rather cloudy. Now, as we take a look at our surface map, high-pressure system is going to be dominating the upper Midwest, so we're looking at dry conditions for the most part. But what we're going to be watching for is developments of a system that's bringing in snow to the Great Plains and is going to continue to track its way east into the upper Midwest. And with that storm system, we're going to be looking at some unsettled weather that's going to be bringing in a mixed bag of not just rain, but even a bit of some snow for some areas. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Planning out the rest of tonight, we're going to be seeing temperatures fall into the lower 30s, heading out the door for tomorrow morning, upper 20s. Cloud cover is going to hold steady. It's still going to be rather quiet. However, once we get into our lunchtime hours, we will start to see wind speeds picking up just a bit and temperatures into the middle and upper 30s throughout much of southern Wisconsin. So it's still going to be tolerable cold, but cold nevertheless. Once we get into around the 5 p.m. hour, we're going to still see rather the same of what it was for our lunchtime hours. So things aren't going to be changing too much. Once we transition into our Monday nights, we'll start to see a bit of some break in the cloud cover, but heading into our Tuesday, it is more or less the same, folks. The only difference is we're going to be at the freezing point instead of below it. Wind speeds themselves also will start to pick up, coming in from the southwest direction, and so we'll start to see a little bit of warming, but because of that warming, once that system starts to roll its way in, we could see some areas, especially to the southwest, once again, picking up a little bit of rain or even a wintry mix by the time we get into our Tuesday afternoon. Now, Tuesday nights, we're looking at plenty of rainfall that will carry into our Wednesday. The system in itself for southern Wisconsin is really going to be holding on to mainly rainfall. Areas to the far northern parts of Wisconsin will start to see a bit of a wintry mix, but transition itself into snow once we get into about our Wednesday nights. But we're still going to be dealing with rain. So for Tuesday and Wednesday, that's really what we're going to see in terms of precipitation. Then right behind it, we have a dry slot. We're looking at a period of quiet and dry conditions as we get into around our Thursday noon hour. But then we're going to start to see that rotation once again of the system that's going to be bringing in a bit of some snowfall Light snow, though, coming in from our Thursday night into our Friday morning, and it will start to phase out once we get into the weekend. But this weekend could still bring a little bit of flurries for some areas, especially here in southern Wisconsin. Now, we are looking for an abundance of rainfall, close to about an inch and a half for some areas throughout southern Wisconsin from this event. But areas closest to the Illinois state line is where we're looking for that excessive rainfall to be in a marginal risk. And once we take a look at how we're going to see in terms of our snowfall, well, snowfall is about trace amounts to close to an inch. The further north you are, the better chance that you have of seeing at least 3 or more inches of snowfall from this event that will carry on from Tuesday to about Friday morning. So here's a look at our 10-day forecast. Temperatures will be rather steady into the tolerable side. Once we get into Wednesday, it's going to be the warmest part of the week, but we have opportunities to see activity almost every single day of this work week. So it's going to be rather unsettled. Just make sure that you're staying prepared for a wet week ahead once we get into our Tuesday evening, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Still ahead, the Badgers hit the road with a 2-game win streak going. Can they make it to 3 straight when facing Iowa? Jordan has highlights coming up next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
A promise is a trust not to be broken. Whether spoken with an oath or sealed with a pinky, USAA started with a promise to take care of the military community. And 100 years later, that's still our mission. Always.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Order the limited time Hog Heaven pizza for just $12.99 at papamurphys.com.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
What does dry skin feel like?
It was really scaly. Like a pet lizard.
New Dove Body Wash with Microbiome Nutrient Serum transforms the driest skin in one shower.
I feel amazing. I feel like put on a really good dress. Your skin's full of life again.
New Dove Body Wash.
Got other things to do this week?
You pour your heart into everything you do, which is a lot. So take care of that heart with Lipton. Because sipping on unsweetened Lipton can help support a healthy heart. Lipton. Stop chugging, start sipping.
Save big during the Hy-Vee Meat and Seafood Sale. Get 10% off all meat, seafood, deli meat in the full-service case this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's right, get 10% off all meat and seafood in the full-service case. Steaks, chicken, salmon, shrimp, all cuts of meat, all fresh seafood. Plus, get 10% off all deli meat in the full-service case. Don't miss the Meat and Seafood Sale. 3 days only this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing to do.
You should check out Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home with a 95% average payout.
And with so many slot machines, there's a game for every kind of player.
They're right, honey. And with new promotions and reward club perks all the time, there are more ways to win than ever before. Find your fun and visit Ho Chunk Gaming Madison today.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Now, what is happening?
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Basketball has already had its fair share of challenges in this pretty young season. Well, another test coming tonight as they head to Iowa City for their first Big Ten road game. The Badgers beat the Hawkeyes at the Kohl Center last season, but the last time UW got a win at Iowa, 2018. Well, 40 minutes just isn't enough for these two teams. Iowa closes out regulation on an 8-0 scoring run to send it to overtime. They take an early OT lead, but Tyler Wall dials it up from deep and ties this game up. 3 of his 21 points tonight, and this one's going to come down to the wire. Iowa up by 1 with under 1 to go. Steven Crowell backs it up, hooks it over for the lead, and the Hawkeyes cut it back to a 1-point game, but Connor Essegian stuffs it in the final seconds to seal the deal. Badgers win 78-75, move to 2-0 in conference play. Also in action today, the women's team hosting St. Thomas, and it's a close one at the Kohl Center. Fourth quarter, down by 1. Lily Crane drains a triple for the lead, and the Tommies keep knocking on the door, but Brooke Schrammick provides insurance buckets down the stretch. Cashes in from behind the arc, 3 of her team high 18. Wisconsin gets the win 72-64, snapping its 7-game skid. They're back in action on Wednesday against UW Green Bay. Giannis and company hitting the road tonight to face the Rockets. The Greek Freak reaches an incredible milestone in Houston, 15,000 career points. Well, the Bucks are leading late, and then the Rockets start to chip away. They manage to come back, tie it up, then Jalen Green gets the floater to go, giving Houston the edge. They go on to win this one 97-92. The Bucks return to action Tuesday against the Warriors. Wrestling returns to the Fieldhouse this afternoon with the 11th ranked Badgers hosting the Wisconsin Wrestling Showcase. The squad rolls in with a 5-1 record and fresh off 2 wins at the Garden State Grapple. In today's showcase, the Badgers are facing Drexel, and Eric Barnett starting the duel off in 125. Well, he quickly shows why he's ranked 7th nationally. Major decision for the senior as he puts Wisconsin on the scoreboard, and they just keep on rolling. 7-0 lead over the Dragons. Joe Zargo, he's just tearing it up in 141, comes out with a 22-7 tech fall to extend UW's lead. And then it's the match everyone was waiting for. Austin Gomez, his opponent gets an early jump on him, but Gomez flips the script seconds later. Yeah, that's why he's ranked 2nd in the nation. He pins Luke Nichter in the first period, and Wisconsin wins it 37-3. It's not the ending that many saw coming, and definitely not the ending that Wisconsin wanted. But the road to repeat as national champs officially came to an end this weekend at the hands of Pittsburgh. Of course, with a trip to Omaha on the line, this Elite 8 matchup came down to the end. The Badgers battled back from a 2-1 deficit to force a 5th set. But in the end, Pittsburgh proved to be too much, ending the Badgers' season at the Fieldhouse.
That was one of the things we talked about, is somebody's going to beat us. They were going to have to beat us. Because our team just, there's no quit. And I think everybody saw that. There's no quit. And they were going to fight and scratch and claw. And the other team had to be willing to do the same thing.
And checking in with Badgers in the NFL, Russell Wilson left this afternoon's Broncos and Chiefs game with a concussion. But before his injury, Wilson was slinging it. He threw for a season-high 3 touchdowns. He ends up making a 6-point game early in the 3rd quarter. But the Chiefs hold on to their lead to go on and win it.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Stay with us. Final check of your First One forecast is coming up when we return.
Helpful hints for you from Meineke. Waiting too long to change the oil in your car can result in irreparable damage that you can easily avoid. Car experts, mechanics, and longtime car owners will tell you that oil is the lifeblood of your vehicle. Stop into Meineke for an oil change and a courtesy check today. And with 4 locations in the Madison area, there's always a Meineke nearby. Set up your appointment at Meineke.com.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now, choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles. Lock in your rate, and you're protected.
I'm proud of you, kid.
And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
After driving cattle in the 1880s, hitting the hay could be a literal experience. But some lucky cowpokes got to sack out in a brand new Sealy mattress. And after 140 years, Sealy is still delivering a great night's sleep. That's why Denver Mattress is proud to offer the Sealy Posturepedic Plus Hybrid. With cool-to-touch covers, body-hugging memory foams, and motion-reducing coils, you'll sleep cooler and more comfortably all night long. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Sealy.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543.
Your wedding day. Your love. Your style. Your celebration. Your wedding place. Discover the Madison Club, the city's premier wedding venue, featuring multiple unique spaces, stunning lake views, and award-winning cuisine. Inclusive packages now available.
It shouldn't take a storm of biblical proportions to find out who you can count on. It shouldn't take a 4-foot diameter oak tree in your kitchen to find out who you can trust. It shouldn't take the worst to bring out our best. But sometimes it does. And that's the silver lining.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
Coming up tomorrow on CBS Mornings, Amy Grant shares the unexpected lesson from a bad bike accident and how it gave her time to reflect on her life and career.
I didn't dream of being a singer. You know, I never posed in front of the mirror with a hairbrush. I never got the music awards at school. There were always better singers, always better musicians.
That interview is tomorrow on CBS Mornings at 7, immediately following News 3 Now this morning. Okay, so we've got exactly 2 weeks till Christmas, and during the break, we were talking so much about holiday traditions and favorite times of the year. I finally put up my tree last night, and we're talking about how you need to go get your decorations.
Wow, unison, clap,
it's
clap,
important.
ladies. I know, I'm
Emphasis.
Ooh.
Emphasis.
Okay.
Yes.
There are so many deals right now because
there are.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Hobby
I'll
Lobby,
try to
Target.
find some time over the next week in the morning to get something.
When is the best day to start? You know, we've talked about before, get out your lights, get out your outdoor decorations.
Because
People haven't
especially
done
with
it
the
yet.
weather, because you want to make sure you can bounce all that.
Yeah.
You know?
When are you going to be needing to get out and do all that? What's the best day in our forecast for it?
Honestly, it's probably going to be tomorrow and Tuesday. Taking a look at our 10-day forecast because we're going to be entering a pretty unsettled pattern. Monday and Tuesday are going to be the most dry and quiet days for us. Though cloud cover is not really going to break until potentially this weekend, folks. We're going to be looking at rain and potentially even some snow on the way for us as we get from Wednesday to our Thursday, and especially heading into our Friday as well. So be prepared for a very unsettled and wet week as we get into the rest of the workday.
All right, thanks, Jillian, and thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you all had a great weekend. News 3 Now this morning starts at 4:30.